And it looks like we're live. Hey crew, welcome back to part 2 of this live stream. I'm just gonna get set up here. I should have done this before, but I have a new live stream set up and I keep forgetting. So just while people start joining, I'm assuming some people get notifications. We're just gonna load up the chat on my tablet, and then we'll get started. I have to get better with getting my stuff ready first. So you guys apparently really enjoyed the live stream yesterday, and 2 days ago. And it was supposed to come back up yesterday, and now we're doing it. So I have about half an hour until I have to sign off again for the day, but we'll see what we can get done in that amount of time on our live stream. So if you're in the chat, say hi, and if you have any questions throughout the stream, please do let me know, whatever you guys need. And we'll take care of it. So yesterday, we had this sort of widget here, which allowed us to create support tickets and submit them. And just a quick review of the data. Support tickets. We're basically generating a category, which could be a bug, help, or suggestion. We have an email placeholder for users who aren't signed in. We have the files, which is a list of basically images, I guess, and hot link. Then we have the message text. Name placeholder is for like email placeholder, people who aren't logged in. And we have the seen yes no, which I changed the default to no. And these are the only changes. That's the only change that's been made since we live streamed this the other day. Then we have this widget here, which we were going to load all the messages into. And basically, we're going to change the privacy rules eventually so that we can see the difference between viewing as a user who submitted them and viewing as an admin who is receiving them. And then we have to add a little messaging support system here on the side, okay, so that the admin can eventually be able to talk to the users who do submit a support ticket. Okay, so here we had our group support ticket. I don't know if this is showing up down here. Right, we don't have any. We're supposed to be doing a search for all support tickets, and then this one is the parent groups, and then name placeholder, which we should be automatically generating when we create a new support ticket from the inputs value, and email placeholder from input B's value. Okay, so if we generate a support ticket, it should work. Name is name, and email is name. I don't know if this works. And we're going to go as a bug, and we're going to go, this is a bug message. And we're going to generate one of each, I think. Now you see, because we're searching for every single one of the names, you're going to be able to pick up the actual name of the user and then the message of the user. Okay, and if we generate a second one, we're going to go name is name2, email is name2, and category is going to be help, and we're going to go, this is a help message. Okay, and finally we're going to go name3, and we're going to go name3 at 3.com, and we're going to tab out the suggestion and suggestion ticket. Okay, now we're set up with a little bit of data so we can start working with. We have 3 different entries here, and when I click on them, I basically want them to load somewhere. Okay, and this is where you have to make a decision on where you're going to pull the actual message that you're currently viewing, because we need a current message to come from this set of messages and basically pop over into here so we can start addressing it. And we can get a title for the message, the name of the person, when it was sent, etc., and a list of different messages by that person. Okay, so we're going to be working on that right now. And when I choose how to do this, I basically take the furthest parent that incorporates everything that needs to use a data item. Okay, that made no sense. We're going to go with a little bit of a deeper explanation. I need to pass whatever this support ticket is into here. Okay, and if this is the deepest parent, what I mean is the first parent by, if I go reveal in the elements tree, you'll see this setup here. And you basically have the page, which is the first level, okay? And everything in here is a child of the page, right? So you have browser as a child, focus as a child, group C as a child. And then group E, which is this big guy right here, basically loads all of the messages. And then group F is a list of every single message. Sorry, and group G is a single message. But where do I need to store the message? I usually pick the earliest parent that needs to use it. So I look at this group here, and do I need to use that support ticket? Absolutely, because when I click on here, it needs to pop into here. So yes, I need it here. Okay. Do I need it in this group at all? Well, for UI purposes, yes. For functionality, no. And what I mean for UI purposes, yes, is I'll have a conditional, and it's when whatever current support ticket is selected, if it is current cell support ticket, I want to say background style is a flat color, and then I'm going to select a flat color that's a little bit different from these guys right here. So I could pick white. I think that'll be fine because I have a gray background here. Okay, so I basically demonstrated to myself that I do need this basically group to contain the current active support ticket. Okay, so if I need it in this group, I'll pick the parent and basically select first parent. It's going to be this group here. Okay, if you need it at the page level, like if this guy would need a current support ticket, then I would put it at the page level. Okay, and that's just how I select which basically element I'm going to put the current support tickets state on. Okay, so I've chosen this one right here. I hope that made sense. If it didn't, do leave something in the chat. And I'm not really seeing anybody on right now. 3 of you are watching. Okay, so let me know if that made sense. If not, I'll explain it. If so, this is where I'm putting the state. Okay, I'm going to go current support ticket. And this current support ticket is going to be obviously the type support ticket. I can't search yet, but we'll please add typing in this search box here for the create new state, create new variable, and whatnot. And it only needs to be one because I can only have one active at a time. So I'm not going to select list, and I'm going to click here. Okay, and now we just need to load it. This is group E. I'll rename this as hold current support ticket. Wow, I can't type today. And hold current ticket is actually a group, so I'll add gr as just a label for me. And then I'm going to say here when is, and then I'm going to pick hold. Group hold current support ticket as a state. Okay, you could also do it as a display data. It's up to you, and I don't think it makes a very big difference either way, unless you're trying to pass it up, but even then. Okay, so now we're able to click on this. Not yet. We're going to make ourselves able to click on this. We're going to go element actions set state, and we're going to. And for those who don't know, a state is a variable that lives at the client level on your client's browser and on your user's browser. Sorry, and disappears when you open and close the browser. It doesn't persist, or not even the browser, the actual page itself. It doesn't persist through the whole. It doesn't persist like it would in the data tab. Okay, so when I click on this, I basically want to set the state of the newly created hold current ticket with basically current cell support ticket. And because we have that white, that conditional that turns it white when we click on it, you'll be able to see when and which one you loaded. So this is a bug message. We're going to load it in, and now it stays white. And then if I want to pick suggestion ticket, now the suggestion ticket is the one that's in there. This is the help message, that's the one that's in there, and this is a bug message, that's the one that's in there. Okay, so as you click on the different ones, they'll store them at this level, and then you'll be able to access them, right? Okay, so now we have the hold, and we can actually grab this and go. Group G, we're gonna go support ticket here, and then we're gonna go data source, parent groups thing. Yeah, okay, cancel. We're gonna go, we set it as a state, so we have to go this. Current support ticket. So it's going to pull the state of the currently selected support ticket into here, and then all we need to do is basically click a parent group support tickets, whatever you want here. We have name placeholder support ticket, or we could have the actual ticket number. We'll add number. We could go hotlink, and then that's going to load. And then we want the messages to show up here, okay? And we want the ability to send a new message from here. So let's add, first of all, the data type that we're going to use for messages, because after the user has submitted a support ticket, there has to be some sort of feedback from the app's admins so that they're able to basically interact with the user and create a sort of a back and forth until the bug is fixed to the user's satisfaction, or until they receive the support they need, or whatnot. Here we could put also the message, and this is a trick I like to use. I like to use when I run out of design room. This is not necessarily the greatest way to do it, but I can do insert dynamic data parent groups, blah blah blah, this message on a small one like this, and it's basically just going to stretch out until the message is fully visible. And then I want this one to have a border, just so we can see. Define each border independently just along the top here. That's solid. I'm not going to do much styling like we said in this particular series because it's about backends, and we just want to see the division between the actual messages and the initial support ticket. Okay, so if we go back to our page now, you'll see we can load in different ones of these, bug message, and then you'll see the actual hotlink for the bug message and the actual message itself. Okay, and we can make this bold or whatever to make it stand out a little bit, but that's not necessarily a priority. And then we're going to have the messages show up here if there are some, and then finally back here on the bottom we're going to be able to write to this thread. Basically, when we create a support message, it creates a thread. Now, if you haven't seen the video that I posted in the link in the description below, I think you guys should check it out. At this point, if you're already watching live, don't worry about it. I'll do a little bit of explaining, but I'm going to divorce my data types, okay? And when I create a new message, basically all I'm going to allow is multi-line input right here. Okay, and the settings for messaging multi-line inputs, you want to go stretch to fit content. You want it to start basically tall enough, and you want to add a little bit of padding here to the top so it doesn't basically look bad. So let's go vertical padding. Let's add a little bit of padding so it's closer to the center here. And then we just want a button for a send. I wouldn't use a button. I would probably use an icon. It's a little and why am I saying that and not doing it? I would basically just grab an icon. I don't like to use these icons too much because I can't, I don't think we can add padding, and they usually look too big, so I have to put a group around them anyway, so I might as well grab a different type of icon, but for the time being, this icon will do just fine. And then when I click on this, I want to create a new message, and that message, I want it added to this thread right here, okay? So let's go here, group H. We're going to go type of content is going to be also a support ticket, and it's going to be parent groups support ticket, or in our case, hold current tickets current support ticket, the one that's active, so that when we send, it always goes to the right thread, to the one that's currently active. Okay. Then we're going to type in here, and then when we click send, we're going to have a workflow that creates a message. So we don't have the data type yet, and we're going to go support, and then we're going to go message create, and support message. Like I said, divorce. We're going to have a support ticket, which is basically our thread or our parent. And if we select here support ticket, we're going to have only one, and it's going to be the parent of this. And if it helps, you can add like parent here at the end just to make it a little bit easier for you to understand. So you create a new field as well. You're going to have a message in here, And we can allow that, and we're also going to allow files, and then those are going to be a text. And right, did I do? Yeah, list of files here. I haven't shown, I don't think on this channel yet, why I use text instead of files, so we're just going to keep it at files. Okay, no default message support, and that's it. Okay, and then we're going to go here and we're going to say, okay, creator, whoever the creator is. Which app is this? TN. Okay, we're going to go here is going to be support messages that we just created, and we're going to do a search for support messages, of course. And the constraints will be that the support ticket parent has to be whichever one is currently selected. And if you remember, we have the one currently selected in group hold, and then we're going to look for all of them. And basically, every time I click here, it's going to pop the hold thread into this whole box here, and then it's going to pull that to here so that every time I create a new message, it goes in the appropriate thread, and then it's going to load all the messages from that particular thread in this repeating group. And Bubble makes sure that this updates in real time. And yeah, as soon as we add one, it should pop up in our repeating group. And we have vertical scrolling, right? Yeah, okay. We're going to go, right. So then we're going to go current cell support messages, creators, user profile. In your case, it'll probably just be creator's name. Okay, we're going to go name, and then we're going to go name last as well. I just copied the expression so I can paste it quicker, because the only thing that changes here is the user's name. So we'll have first and last name here, and we're going to go rich text editor and just grab all of that and make it bold. And the other way to do that is just to add b tags, but I don't have my metas, my macros written on this computer yet, so I have to do it manually. Here you have the name of the person who sent it, and we're going to make this actually a little bit smaller because it's definitely way too big right now. 14, and then we're going to have, maybe we add a picture of the user. If there is no user though, because in this particular app we're allowing people with no account to submit a picture, we're definitely going to load a random avatar here if the current user's user profile's picture is empty. And this is a really cool, you can go process with ImageX, you can go add circle ellipse mask. We can make it smaller because it's very, very small, 37. I might, 37, 40, 50, whatever, 25 is fine, because it's such a small display that you can really scale the image down, which will make it a lot faster to load, especially since we'll be loading multiple images here. And then we're going to go circle ellipse mask to make it round. The other way to do that is just to add a roundness of 100 to the actual group. It's not 100, it's anything bigger than double the width and or double the height, whichever one's bigger will make it round, okay? And then we're going to do the actual message itself, which will be very similar, but instead of being bold, we can remove this. We can actually remove, whoops, press backspace too many times. I think I could do something like this now, clear all. Nice. I would like clear all to actually clear it. That's counterintuitive that it resets to edit me, but I guess it's so you don't lose track. Anyways, let's go here and let's go current cell support messages message, okay? And then here, we're going to be able to do on start edit workflow, we're going to go data, create a new thing, create a support message. So let's double SUP message, set another field with the message being that inputs value, the input that we created there. And then and by created there, I mean this one. This one is called multi-line input A. And when you go back to the workflow, the message will be whatever value it is. And then it's going to be support ticket parent is going to be the current one. And the current one, of course, we can always find at the same place. If we type hold, it's going to be that one's current support ticket. And then we can say files, and we don't have a way to add them yet, but we're going to go element actions, reset inputs. Boom. So once this is sent, it'll create a message, it'll pop into here, and then it'll reset the inputs. Then, just for a little bit of clarity, we're going to move this up here. I like to start, this is centered, right? There's no way it's not. Yep, it is. So we want to remove that, because Bubble, for some reason, needs a 1.2 line height to make things center properly. I don't really understand it, but I'm not complaining, I'm just saying I don't understand it. And then here, rows, we're going to add a few rows, like just so it fits. I'm not going too crazy on the UX right now, or maybe a little bit more. Okay, rows 7. Okay, now let's go try and create some messages. I'm leaving these on so that I can go something like this, and then I say in this we go bug message 1, and we're going to copy this and we're going to send it. And there you go, there it appears. Since I'm not logged in right now, I have nothing, nothing showing up. Okay, so for that we need to do something cool. Conditional when current cell support message creator is empty. We're going to go, this element is visible. No text. We're going to go unknown user, just so we have something. And if you're only allowing users who are logged in to create support messages, then you don't need this. But process with ImageX, we can also do process is URL, and then we should be able to go, and this is really sneaky. I think it works still. Defaulting to, and then if you have options of standard avatars, not alert type avatar, to all avatars random items image. Okay, so if the current user's profile pic process with ImageX URL is empty, it'll default to a random avatar that I have. And if you go to the option sets, data option sets, basically I just have avatars and I have default and I have 13 of them. So it's going to pick a random one and it's going to show that avatar's image. Okay, that should work. So all of a sudden, because this user is empty, it should say unknown user. Why does it not? Creator is not empty because creator has a unique ID. Strange. Is the user profile empty? We can try that again. But yeah, so now we have this, and this is the thing I'd like to do, and I'm not going to show you because I didn't set up my OBS so that you could see the screen, but basically I'm just going to duplicate this screen, and I'm going to then, how easy is this going to be, or difficult? Yeah, that's going to be a little bit too difficult to do live, but I wanted to show you different messages, one from the admin, one from the user, but we're just going to do all of the users, and then we're going to use the admin to reply to them. Now, this user submitted these 3 bugs. Yeah, unknown user, and this one has nothing yet. And then we're going to go unknown user, and this is help message 1. I'm going to send 2 here. Here's 1, and then message 2. And as I'm sending them, you'll notice, okay, this basically, this should be the same. Yeah, I didn't think about that, but anyways, message 3, and so on and so forth. And as you load new messages, you basically have yourself a messaging system. And I'm hoping, because of, let's make a really long one. Yes, it'll allow you to scroll. Okay, so now you basically have a very, very simple messaging system that ties each message to each thread, and you're able to write out messages in this little widget here. Okay, next thing you could do is put this little widget in a pop-up, and then put this little pop-up widget on desktop, and basically make a little thing for mobile where you go between selecting the message and showing the message, which will need to be done eventually, and I might do it on the live stream. But right now, what else do we need to do here? I wanted to see, yes, set up the privacy rules, because if you're a user, that you definitely don't want different users being able to see all of the support messages unless a user is an admin. So we go back into the privacy rules for the data. Let's go to the support messages. We're going to define a new role. We're going to say admin, because admin can see everything. So we say current user's role is 0 or contains 0. Then we're going to see all of them. And also we're going to go creator. and we're going to let the creator see everything. So current user is, the support message is creator, and then we're going to show everything, and then we're going to go like this, and like this. In our case, if your user is not an admin or the creator, they'll see nothing. So if I log in, all of the empty ones will be visible to me because I'm not logged in. And now if I log in as a user, if I go app data, all users, and I run as a super, and what are these? I see, these are my early tests. So I must have created these as super earlier when I was showing you guys last time. Okay, but basically I'm able, because I have role 0, to be able to see all of them. Yeah, cool. And if I answer, I should have an avatar. So if I go hi, and a little bit of a fix to be done on the we've received your message. And if I type that in, well, I can't talk. This is sent by super. This is, I see. I'm running into this is current user. I made a mistake. It's not current user's user profiles image. And this element is fixed width, and I want width to be, let's go, 37 by 37, and fixed width is fine. It's not current user's user profiles pick processed with ImageX. It's actually current cell supports messages creators user profiles image. User profiles image. Pick, sure. Process with ImageX 25. Auto crop, no. Resize to fit, apply circle ellipse mask, and then URL, and then defaulting to, and then you pick an avatar, get an option, all avatars, random item as image. Okay, and if we do that, it should work out. Yeah, because when I logged in as super, you notice that all the avatars changed to super's actual avatar here. And if I click on this is a bug message, I have the unknown user and now super, and MSG admin 2 will load again my super. Now because this is random, I have to maybe tie a specific avatar to each user so it doesn't look like different ones all the time. I should tie an avatar to a message and display that. So this is important just for suggestions or help. Even bug reports kind of can be submitted by unsigned users, but definitely the avatar has to be consistent. So basically what I'm going to do to fix that is go back into my workflow, and when submission, I'm going to create a new support ticket, and I'm going to go like this, set another field, and we're going to go unlogged, I'll create new field, unlogged user avatar. And I'm going to do this is a, yeah, that's good. This is going to be a text. And we're going to say, oh, I don't know if it's going to work as a text yet because of the process with ImageX. It should work. We're going to try it, see if it works. So unlogged user. I don't know if you guys are interacting in the chat, but I'm not seeing anything. So I guess not. Unlogged user avatar is going to be current users, and we're going to load the current user's avatar. So like I said, user profile I use, like I said in the last video, I use a second data type called user profile, which is linked to the current user to display all of the public information or semi-public information, meaning that other users who are on the site could potentially see it, such as pictures or usernames and such things. And I use the current user to do purely private stuff that only the user and admins should be able to see. So I'm going for their user profiles, avatars, image, defaulting to. No, I can't. Sorry, I can't tie it to the support ticket. That's a big mistake. Or can I? I can. I have to go get an option, all avatars. And I'm basically just trying to pull a random avatar for unlogged users, and I'm surprised that it's taking me this much brain power to think about. All avatars are random items is image URL. Okay, so I'm going to, or is it an image? It's an image, so I should be able to do just this. Okay, and then defaulting to, instead of defaulting to a random one, we're going to default to current cell support message is parent, and then we're going to go for the avatar that we've selected here that we created for unlogged. So if the current, basically what this trick looks at the current.
Oh, my dog is freaking out. You bitch.
He just started running all of a sudden, you know, it's hilarious. So just joining in. Hi, Christopher. Thanks for joining us today. We're doing a support. I'm sure you've read the title. Anyways, if you have any questions, please do post them directly in the live chat, and I'll do my best to answer them. And yeah, if you're just joining us, we're doing the current cell support message creators avatar, and we're doing a basically a fallback. So we're defaulting to a random avatar for the actual messaging here, so that all three of these start matching now, because the way I had built it earlier didn't really match. So let's grab one of these, and we have an unknown user. It's defaulting to something unknown because when I created them, they are empty, right? And these are all by unknown users, and I will answer this. Answer this, and it'll show my avatar. Okay, so now you basically have a messaging system that you can use with a little header here, and next we're going to do just attaching files, and then we're going to have our whole messaging system. Now this, when I say whole messaging system, I do mean it, but this is an MVP messaging system, obviously, with no styling done. And the difference between this and a messaging system that looks like WhatsApp or Facebook's, or that looks like a robust help center, is enormous. It's enormous. This is just what am I doing? This is just really the root, the very basic MVP, and then eventually you can turn it into something awesome. I'll have to go through the video and post questions after. Feel free, yes, in the comments, and I do read every comment and I try to answer all of them, although sometimes I get a little bit busy. So uploader, we're going to go with picture uploader, no, file uploader, because we said it was files, and every time we upload a file, we're going to store the file inside of the message. Okay, so this guy right here, we're going to make it transparent. We're going to go here, size 0. We don't want a placeholder, and we're just going to create a very transparent file uploader. And I usually do this because I don't like the UX surrounding the file uploader. And I'm going to group it into a group, and then I'm just going to grab an icon, and then I'm going to put it inside that group that I just created. And the icon will just be an attachment. So attach. Okay, is it paperclip? Yes, which is the universally recognized symbol for attaching. I don't like this paperclip's orientation. Why would you, as a foundry, create an icon that faces this way and an icon that faces the other way when they usually sit beside each other? That's annoying. Select first parent, and let's just try to align them at least center. And they're not the same size, I don't think. Yeah, they're pixel off, that's fine. And now this paperclip we're going to send to back so that the picture uploader is inside the group, the file uploader, but it's fully transparent. And when the user clicks on it, it's going to go here. And as the file is uploading, there's a few things I want to do with the paperclip, which is purely UX, but let's click on it and go conditional when file uploader is loading. We're going to go icon is going to be the spinner, and then we're going to make the icon spin like this. Yes. Okay. And then that's sent to back, so I should be able to just click on file uploader. Good. And then we're going to right click on the file uploader, and we're going to go start edit workflow, and we're going to go file uploader's value is changed. We're going to go make changes to a thing, and we're just going to make changes to So there are two ways that I usually create things. You either create it first, store it in the group, and then update it. This way, your database grows faster you get more data into it, but you also get more insight into what your users are building, because they don't need to hit the submit button for you to be able to see what they're doing. I think it's pretty common practice. I don't actually know how many sites do this, but I would imagine the more data you have, the easier it is to build something that your users really, really want. Obviously, follow Google's old advice, not their new advice, their old advice, which is don't be evil, and don't use that data for bad, and make sure that you put in your terms of service something to that effect if you're taking users' data, and make sure you respect their privacy. But if you do this first, if you load something in there first, like a particular message, you can auto bind your input to the message, and you can auto bind this to the message, and when you click send, all you need to do is change one thing about the message. And then the other way to do it is to leave the inputs blank, and then basically when the user puts something in, you send it. So I'll show you both of those things, and then we're going to wrap up the live stream for today, and you'll have a semi-functional messaging system, a really minimum viable messaging system. But I think it's important that you look at the differences between creating a data element before it's needed or after it's needed. Okay, so we're going to go every time that this thing is empty. Okay, this support ticket is empty and it's visible. And then this one, whoops, this one is the original one, right? So we're going to go edit, undo. Okay, so in our case, in this one, the original one, it's got the parent, right? And it only generates the actual data item when I click on send. And then I create a new one here, and the files have to be something, and I'll show you how to store them in a bit. And I reset the relevant inputs. Now I only create the data item here, but what I could do is create the data item before it's required. Okay, so we're gonna do that really quick, and then we're gonna call it a day. And tomorrow I'll show you how to preload basically data into here, and then attach it to the correct place and display it when the user clicks on this. Otherwise, leave it private to basically your eyes only, and be able to get whatever information that you need to from here. Okay, so here the files have to go somewhere and be stored somewhere, and we're going to go with the same rule. What is the earliest parent that requires files? And honestly, the earliest parent is file uploader itself. So we can add a state here, and we can go file list, and we go list of files. Files. They're going to be on top here, and we're going to go list. Okay, and we're just going to store inside of itself the files as they are uploaded to the file uploader, so I can upload multiple files. Okay, so let's go here, and just as a display, yeah, so we're doing this tomorrow. I'm gonna scrap this. It's just because I don't really have time. And we're going to go group here, and we're going to go repeating group. And in the repeating group, I just want to basically show that I have a file, and tomorrow we might style it to add, remove, or modify files here. This is how I usually go about doing it. So we're going to start with almost squares, and we're going to load file, and data source, parent groups thing. No, we're going to load file uploader and file list, the state that we just set. So if you upload a file to here, we want to start edit workflow. We want to say make changes to file uploader. No, not make changes to things. Sorry, element actions, set state of file uploader A, and we created that state called file list, and we're going to make it exactly what it is currently, plus an item, this file uploader's value, and then possibly and do it like that. Okay, and we're going to generate the actual files in here, and then we're going to put a text and say this is not empty. Okay, it goes, if the file is a picture, you have to do a thing. If the file is a video, you have to do a different thing, and if the file is a PDF, you have to do a different thing, and we're going to do that at another day. But select first parent. This is just to show that as I'm uploading files into this uploader, they're actually popping up here, and then once I send the message, my file list will be parent group support ticket. No, is going to be file uploaders file list. This should not be an equal. Something's wrong. When I created the actual messaging type, the support messaging type, Files is not a file. Files is a list of files. So we're going to try that again. Files is a file list create. Okay. I saw, and this happens to me all the time. I create a single thing, but it's not, and then I see the equals, and it's not an equals. It's supposed to be set list file uploaders and file list. Okay. And when we reset relevant inputs, we also want to set state of the file uploader file list to be 0. Okay, to be nothing. So as we're crafting our message here, I'm going to upload a few files. They'll all be photos. As I upload them into the file uploader, the file uploader should basically generate them, and then it should, let me load a picture in here. Where are they? All of my small pictures. Okay, so now it's loading, and now the file's in it, and now you can see that the file is actually sitting in the state of the file uploader. Let's try to add a second one here. It's loading, and it loaded a second file. Let's load a third one, and a third file. Okay, so now we have 3 files, the 3 pictures, and we're going to go 3 pictures here. And tomorrow, we're going to work on displaying those pictures, because as you can see, this is the latest one I've created. And if I go to my actual app data and I go to the messages, not tickets, 3 pictures here, and we can see in the file list that we have picture number 1 ending in .png, picture number 2 ending in .png, and picture number 3 here. So we've basically loaded all of the questions into our messaging system, and we're going to just now need to display them, which is super useful in support tickets, because it's super useful in support scenarios, because you can upload screenshots or screencasts of what your user is doing, which will help you basically fix this up a lot easier. Okay, if you like the video and you've tried it, please leave some comments about how you're faring. And tomorrow or on the next live stream, we're going to be basically displaying those pictures that we just uploaded in those files that we just uploaded here. But basically, you have alt text. Definitely, you have a way to receive and reply to different support ticket items. Okay, so I'll sign off for tonight, and we will catch you basically on the next one. Thanks so much for watching, guys.